Hey, what's up? I'm Cruiser Mockingbird, and I'll be continuing down the rabbit hole that is Vampyr.
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up!
What happened?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
What happened?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go there.
Look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
Thank
The
you.
abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way, then. Thank you, nurse.
Now,
It's locked.
I actually missed this. It's a hacksaw. There are also some other minor quests I could do if I actually really cared too much. I wouldn't mind. Nope. Didn't mean to target. Vampire vision. It's been a couple days. She has a pretty interesting storyline.
Good evening, miss.
I actually
Dr.
played
Reed,
some of this
a
on
new
my
surgeon
alternate
at the
account and
hospital.
was, played through that point trying to find if there was anything
no
else.
to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Okay.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please,
She sounds a bit crazy.
describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Okay.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Very much so. Especially because I am a vampire.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman,
Sure you can.
A spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here.
Well, I mean,
are
it
not
is said
your
that people
enemy.
that
They're here
there
to
are
help
people
you,
that have
to
like
care
that
for you.
I'm not
sixth
speaking of
sense,
the
that
doctors
weird
now.
perception of
I'm speaking
being,
of the men
of being
who
watched.
hunt me.
I
For
think it's sort of
I
like
am
a
vampire.
I see.
sort of like a
Don't
latent
worry.
like more
These
along the lines of
people
like
will not
animal
find you
instinct,
here.
that feeling
I'll
of something
personally
watching
make sure
you.
they leave you alone.
Thank you,
To let
mortal,
you know that
but
you're
do
in
not
danger.
interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
And then there was something else I missed, I think. Oh yeah, there was another store.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed, always a colleague.
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just...
What do you
know?
Please show me what...
He doesn't really have anything,
Of course.
I don't think.
It's just trinkets and curio.
But the main thing is I want to obtain the formula. So I can start crafting more shit. Alright, now where are those vampire hunters? That's not a good sign. Feed on the rats. Normally that means that there's a hideout nearby. Not a hideout, but I did find some materials. Oh, that guy's level 14. I'd rather not fight him. I feel like they would easily kick my ass. Where is it? Track. So how do I get in there? Maybe back here somewhere? Oop, here's an entrance. Lead rod and lead plate. Ooh, before that though. I want to try out the sword.
It's one of them!
Drink your blood.
Bloody leech! Over there!
And drink. Suck that, nerd. I like the sword. I'm afraid to go over there. Just considering that in the other area I found that there were like level 14 enemies. It's just like, oh, that's not a good sign. Alright. Well, they said it was back here, so... Ooh, that door I couldn't enter earlier. The old morgue. Alright. I'm betting I'm gonna fight something. Can I unlock it? I can leave that way, but I don't want to leave right now. Glass vials. So it looks like they cleaned out a lot of this place before they left. Which is good for them and bad for me.
I cannot enter.
Speed.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
So I only gain blood things from certain skulls? Because there's one skulls that I killed out in that
Balls of
one
Mars,
area.
Fortifiers.
When I was trying to find the
As popular
that
as
one
they
dude's
are
wallet.
ineffective.
They
But
couldn't give me
they
any
do
blood.
contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
By the way, that's a shit ton of blood. Nice try. He tried dodging and but I'm too quick. Shotgun shells and bullets.
It's locked.
I hope at some point I can finally get through these areas and actually unlock the doors. Albeit usually that means I have to come back to this area at some point. Watery rich blood sample +2. Are there more skulls? Scald, skulls. Skulls.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Oh, he's resistant to bullets. Since you made me waste some blood, I'm gonna feed off you then. Shotgun shells and bullets. I'm guessing most human enemies wouldn't be resistant to bullets. I was not paying attention to my stamina. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Why are they feeding on bodies? They're not really drinking blood, but more just eating bodies. Are they incomplete vampires then? Use listen stick. Blood. Use to acquire a new type of offhand weapon. Directly absorb blood? What? Wait. I need to see this. I'm gonna remove the pistol. Death report. Home address unknown. Natural. Probable cause of death. Fast progressing phenomena of virus-induced Spanish influenza.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked.
So is that just one of these? That'd be interesting. Thank you for finally letting me open that. That's pretty cool. Just stabs him and just absorbs blood. There we go. Opened up the doors. John Doe. Drink his blood. What kind of vampire power is that? Drink.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
So I guess I already looted him.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Can I craft anything? Okay, so that stuff allows light regeneration serum and light blood serum. I also have stuff. Anemia fatigue. Ooh. I can. I'm gonna do Dragon Bane. And I'll do the steak. Can this one be upgraded? It cannot be upgraded. How about a pistol? Nope. A scythe? Nope. Other pistol. Aluminum powder, aluminum shards. Okay, so anything of average resale value that I think I might get good shit from, I'm gonna probably break down. See, that has high resale value, which means I want, and it gives good shit too, but it's like I wanna, you know, I think I need an aluminum vial for this shit. Or a glass vial. Oh, I could examine him. I was wondering why I couldn't examine him.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Not too uncommon because I think that he was a
The
fisherman.
chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Who's he? Ooh. That's not a good sign. Alright, how do I get out of here? Jeez, almost surprised me. Almost. I need more blood. Stun and drink. God damn it. Every time I leave and come back, there's more bodies and there's more skulls. Well, I gotta watch for my problems. I need to go talk to him about this egregious error. I'm gonna talk to the nurse first.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Nope.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
I understand, but at the same time, it's like,
Goodbye,
if it
nurse.
costs people
Call
their
me if you need
lives, can you
assistance.
really, you know? Who are you? You some unknown person, which I can't talk to.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Doctor,
Personal question.
Kokorin, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
he was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blood.
At least he's willing to admit it.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this
Who was he?
patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tibbets, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
What was that? Okay. She's over here.
You always knew the words to calm.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay. Disease decreases the blood quality of a citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. A rat in the hospital.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Could be that person over there.
Mortimer Goswick.
Fatigue. Good thing I already made a treatment for it.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not
Give
a burden,
medicine.
sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
And he is healed. He is recovering.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you
I'll
get
let you
some
get some
rest.
rest.
Then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Your life in London.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Well,
Yes.
beggars can't be choosers.
Thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Personal question. Nothing.
What do you think of your reception
I guess
here?
that.
Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me about your
more
arrival.
about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The
By the
ambulance
way,
driver
I've been
was
watching a
quite
lot of
rude
E3
at
shit.
the start.
Man,
That
I am
nurse,
hyped.
Miss Hawkins seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged
She
you?
charged you.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Well, considering that it's an epidemic right now, I'm pretty sure you don't really have that
Goodbye,
many
Mrs. Goswick.
options. Unknown. Oh, right. That one dude's here. The preacher dude.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts?
I
The
figure I'll ask
bartender
him some
from the
questions,
Turtle.
then we'll end it
I
there,
met
and we'll
him
go and
before I
talk
found
to the
you at
doctor
Candy Factory.
afterward.
Tom?
In the
Yes,
next
of
episode.
course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should
Corruption?
I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox
Who
went
was the
missing,
leader?
it's his wife Edwina who runs the show.
Hey,
With
that's the
assistance
guy
of
we
an
saw
Indian
underneath
Booth
the
Digby.
docks. And someone was trying to kill him.
Has the gang been
Maybe someone had a hit
Ah, no.
on him.
I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
What is the general situation?
Oh, that was an accident.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct
you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You are a
dared
hero
to
or a
enter
fool?
this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Well, that's it. I think. Nope. Bert. Ah.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton?
I feel exhausted.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir.
Have you made...
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a
Plus,
living?
it's one of those times where it's like, you know what?
I can't help
If someone
but notice
disappears,
the
it makes it
cross
really
around
hard to
your
try and
I
find them.
manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you,
Are you
a
a priest?
priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Goodbye.
So is there a difference between the crosses? And then is there anything else of immediate notice I should do? How do I increase my mesmerize levels? Also, nope. I was trying to do this. Okay. Covering. I have no idea where he is right now. But we'll end it there. I might go and talk to some of the other people. I'm not sure. I'll figure out that later. Either way, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that like. Please hit subscribe. Either way, though, I hope to see you further down the rabbit hole next time. See ya.